Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. Our mission is to see a world well led. And our strategy to get there? To empower leaders like you to lead every day. So let's get to work.
If you're a company, I hope you're making lots of money, lots of profits. If you're a sports team, I hope you're winning lots of games, winning those trophies. That's awesome. But if you're trying to attract top people, you're going to need more than just profits and trophies. They're looking for something else. They're looking for a bigger vision. Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. I'm Randy Gravitt.
And I'm Mark Miller.
And we are in this conversation about becoming talent magnets, really under the umbrella of building high-performance teams. We've been working on that the last few days, actually a little over a week now. And today we're talking about the third thing, the third condition of employment in our research project we did with 7,000 top talented people. We had a chance to talk to them and interview them and we had a bunch of people helping us, Mark, with that. And they kept saying over and over, here's what we're looking for. The last couple of days, we've looked at these first two, that they're looking for an engaged leader, and they're looking for a place to grow and a brighter future. But today, this one's huge. This is about impact. They really want to make a difference as much as they want to make a living. They said that over and over. I heard people say, I want my life to count for something. I love that there are people out there who want to make the world better. It's what we're actually after. We want to see a world well led. And when we think about top talented people, this is the way they think. So I'm excited to have this conversation a little bit today.
Yeah, me too.
When we think about a bigger vision, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And there were a lot of ways that people talked about this. And it was contribution, and it was impact, and it was an organization that gives back, an organization that is outward focused, and an organization that was well led in that they had a clear sense of purpose or vision or values. And so we kind of mashed those up into this banner we call a bigger vision.
Yeah. Now, let me be clear. The people we talked to, they had no problem winning. They had no problem with trophies and profits and all. In fact, they won all that. They just said this matters as much or more
got to
than
be
that does.
more than just
really,
the P&L.
They
top talent in large quantities. I wouldn't say 100%, but it was enough to be a theme from all of this research. They kept telling us it's got to be about more than just a paycheck.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are listening who agree with that. I mean, I think if you're top talented, that's the way you think as well. I work with companies and teams through the years who believe and who've even said that doing good is good business. I mean, it helps the business to do good, but really, whether it helps the business or not, they still have this heart to do good. I think a lot of people think that way, and we live in a world where there's some stuff that's messed up right now, and there's I don't know that the government's going to solve everything, no matter which way you lean. I don't know that education's got it all under control. I mean, if business people and business leaders and sports coaches they get this right, even in their local levels, they really can make it better for a lot of people. And that vision that they have is very inspiring, and it attracts people. It goes back to our talent magnet idea. They told us this is a condition of employment. We're not going to work for you if all we're doing is just chasing this or doing that. I mean, it's like we really want to have some impact here.
Right. And there are some that they may not personally resonate. Let's say your organization says, we're going to try to help eradicate some disease in a third world country.
Not a third world, but we have an organization that we actually work with that they're very passionate about helping with cystic fibrosis as an example.
Let's use that as an example.
Yeah.
If I work for that company, that may not be my passion. That may not be my calling. But the organization still gets credit for being more than about themselves. They're not totally self-serving. So it doesn't have to resonate personally and passionately with every person. I think it's even better when it does, because you'll start attracting people who actually feel for that cause.
Well,
potentially.
I was going to connect a dot or two here. So they have a leader who's been affected by that. Their family has, and so that obviously is something important to them. But what they have done is they have tried to make sure everybody's well led at every level, and they've given every single person a path to grow. Let's go back to yesterday, the brighter future. And it is amazing when you get around these people, how passionate people that really haven't been touched by this at all, who are actually in on that. And so that it is an attractive thing to know that we're doing something to make this part of the world better.
Make the world better.
And that's not what your company's doing is not that's not the only way you contribute. Your job gives you resources to be able to help and give and all kind of things, a lot of things going on here. But this idea of a bigger vision, it's a huge deal. I mean, it really is. It's something that people who are top talented people, they're passionate about making a difference.
Yeah, they do. And I had somebody just this week say, well, I need an example. And you just gave one of cystic fibrosis. I mean, there are, I would assume, infinite examples. But let me give you a couple that I think are kind of interesting. One organization that had an hourly workforce, and this was not a Chick-fil-A restaurant, but an organization I'm familiar with, had an hourly workforce. And they told their people that they were going to actually designate a fraction, a tiny fraction of profits for charitable contributions. And they allocated that money across their workforce based on how many hours they worked in the year.
Okay.
And so at the end of the year, each person got a check that they were required to give to a 501(c) of their choice. And if you only worked a few hours, you might get $100. And if you worked a lot, you might get $5,000.
Yeah.
And so they basically turned all of these hourly employees into philanthropists.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. And
so they just picked their own 501(c)(3)
they picked their own.
and
So,
give
they said, we're not even going to try to choose something that would be everybody could get excited about. We're going to let you give to what you're excited about.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Had one more example, just something totally different. I had a Chick-fil-A restaurant that said they were going to give a portion of their profits. Again, it was a very small amount in the greater scheme of things, but they were going to give it to an organization that feeds hungry people, and they do it by packing meals that they then send with rice and beans and lentils and other things. And many of these meals will go to third world countries. And they actually track how much money is in the fund. And when it gets to a certain level, they do a meal packing event at the restaurant and out in the parking lot. They invite customers to participate and they pack 10,000 or 50,000 meals that are going to go to a third world country. And all the team members participate, and the profits that they help generate fund that.
Yeah. I know years ago, you and I participated in was it a million meal thing? We got to pack meals, and so that's just another example. And one of the things we're passionate about, and I'll mention one more idea here. One of the things that we're passionate about, or one of the causes that we love helping, is an organization called Untold. And it's the CEO is actually your son. He's done a great job with that, and we're helping literally with the AIDS crisis in Africa, and we've got now 110 centers that are going on over there. It's pretty incredible, some of that work. So if you want more info on that, you go to untold, I think .org, I believe is the thing there. But I love the fact coming to work knowing that every time we do something, somebody's going to get helped. And in this case with Untold, we're actually giving a voice to some people who don't have voice. And so I love that. I think that's really important. And I'm thinking that way because I'm trying to think like a top talented person would think. I mean, it's just, I want my life to count for something beyond did we make enough money to keep the lights on. You know, that's great. But
which is critical.
It's critical.
And essential.
It's what we're doing.
But
we're in business.
Can we do more?
Can we have impact?
And you really can. If you've got a successful organization, you can make an impact in the world.
Yeah. I can't. That's well said there. So I would say as we land today, ask yourself the question, what are your people coming to work for? Are they coming to work for the P&L? Are they coming to work for the trophy? Those trophies are great, but the impact that they create in communities, and you may do a car wash for single moms or an oil change. We did that with an organization years ago. There's lots of things that you can do, and your people, your best people, will rally around making a difference as much as they will making a living. That's my challenge for you today as you think about this. What are you doing to give people a bigger vision? Vision attracts people. It's like rocket fuel for your payroll. make sure it's in place. And if you will, your people are going to be leaned in, and they might even stay longer. Your best people might. I think you got a huge competitive advantage there if you understand this. All right, remember, the best leaders lead every day.